going on, Jerome's Minnesota Vikings need to start having the meats on both sides, the line, defensive line. Well, mainly they need a pass rush on the D-line. They could stop the run. Pretty good there. But interior offensive line for the Vikings has been an issue for years. And tackles are great. Guards, center, leaves a lot to be desired. Long story longer, Tyler Booker out of Alabama. One of my favorite offensive linemen in this draft class. Donovan Jackson, Gray Zabel as well. Mambu if he kicks inside, Tyler Banks if he kicks inside. But in terms of a day one, set it and forget it guard, Tyler Booker is him. I'll also put Tate Ratledge in that conversation. Hell, say the Vikings get some pass rushers and some dudes in free agency and also a couple of cornerbacks. Tyler Booker in the first, maneuver, get Tate Ratledge day two. Woo! We're good to go. Right, so Tyler Booker, been a 3-year starter at Alabama. All the superlatives are there, and basically he's been one of the best and most consistent guards, especially pass protection, which the Vikings need in college football. 86.5 PFF pass blocking grade, 2 sacks allowed over 3 seasons in Tuscaloosa on 1,035 pass snaps, which is good. A 1.6% pressure rate for a career, which seems like it's good as well. 2-time first-team All-SEC, which is a good conference. And then also first-team All-American last year. And also his presser at the Combine was great. The thing I love most about football is taking the love away from other people. He's got size. He's got power. He's a tone setter. And honestly, I think that he is in the conversation of like a Zach Martin, where you just put him in at guard, set and forget it for a decade plus, and you're ready to rock and roll. But, of course, Booker and his testing was one of the stories of the Combine over the weekend. Now, you knew that he wasn't going to rip the cover off the ball in terms of athletic testing, but the numbers, they're not great. First off, he did weigh in at 321, which is good, 6'4.5", 11-inch hands, by the way. He just got freaking lunch boxes for fists. Also, long arms, 34.5. So physically, everything is there, but testing-wise, speed-wise, vertical, jump-wise, like everything was not great. Or a lot of people are going to knock Booker down like a round or two. I think that's ridiculous. Even though 403 RAS, not ideal, but also he wasn't one of the prospects that was going to test insane. Now, there's a couple reasons why. I'm still fully in on Tyler Booker as interior offensive lineman 1 in this class. So, number one, he looks smooth in the on-field drills. Oh, so when they did things that are actually like potentially related to football, he looked good. Also, he was 40 slow out of the blocks because he did end up with a estimated 197 10-yard split, which for offensive linemen, the 10-yard split is pretty important. He's in the he's in the 9th percentile. It's not great. But he did reach 19.22 miles per hour in the 40. So he breaks slate. Everyone knows that. Also, could he have been injured? Right, because that's always something that flies under the radar. Where if like I said, Booker wasn't going to light the world on fire metrics and testing wise, but when he doesn't check the boxes, you wonder, was there something physically going on there? Also, still has his pro day, and frankly, if he tests well at his pro day, you just chalk the Combine up to potentially injured. It sort of is what it is. Also, the tape doesn't lie. I've watched a decent amount of Booker over the years. Roll Tide. And there's never been a moment where you're just like, his physicality, his athleticism is weighing down this team. You never had a moment of that. You always had moments of, hey, 52 is putting that defensive tackle in jail, or 52 really opened up that touchdown run, or, hey, Jalen Moreau is constantly going to his left running because it's behind Booker, all that stuff. And 3 years of consistent pass protection. And plus, it's not like they're slow in the SEC. You know what I mean? Now, if Booker had been like a small conference, like say he had been a MAC guard, which is highly regarded, and then he tests this way, all right, that would have been cause for pause. But, I mean, week in, week out in the big bad SEC West, like he's standing on business. And also through the college football playoff. Plus, multiple regimes, offenses, Alabama. So, of course, with Saban back in the day, a lot more gap with DeBoer and their new offense, a lot more zone. So, he's scheme agnostic. And even with the scheme change, like even running outside, inside zone, you never looked at 52 as just like he's slowing down this operation. Nah. Also, what's interesting is that a possible move to center. Guy Jordan Reed pointed out 5 players that were requested to stay post-workout to perform snaps at center: Booker, Connor Colby from Iowa, Hayden Conner from Texas, Joshua Gray from Oregon State, who's 75,000 years old, and also Joe Huber from Wisconsin. Some people point out, well, what about Gray Zabel? Yeah, Zabel took a ton of center snaps at the Senior Bowl, so he's going to be fine. Also, the same decision makers were also in Mobile. But it's interesting. So Hayden Conner never really got a shot to play center because of Jake Winters, and Connor Colby, could be interesting there. But him playing center. So a lot of people made out like, well, what happens when Booker has to pull in certain situations where you ask the guard to pull? Well, if he's at center, centers still pull, but they certainly do not pull as much as guards. So that certainly could be something. Plus, imagine just having a center with ass and mass and anchor, because those are all things that are good to go with Booker. Someone who's not going to give an inch to nose tackle. And I don't know. That actually might be the future, and something that I never thought about just because he was so damn good at left guard throughout the years. But adding some positional flexibility certainly helps. But like I said, testing-wise, I'm not concerned at all, because this is one of those spots where film, you're fine. On-field drills, he looked fine too, so maybe he's not hurt. Who knows? But I don't know. Like, hey, teams will still pass on Booker because of his testing. Those are very stupid teams, and hopefully the Vikings aren't one of them. But your thoughts are thoughts. Tyler Booker did not test well at the combine. Do not care at all. Let us know. Comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.